Oh, we are one love. Hear the call. Together we rise. Let compassion enthrone. In the morning light, the sun breaks free. A new day dawns. It's a sight to see. With hearts wide open, we stand as one, living in our truth, like the stars in the sun. From the mountains high to the valley low, we're spreading our wings, letting our spirits flow. In every soul, there's a spark divine, raising up the world. We're truly alive. Oh, we are one love. United we stand, bringing peace to the world. Hand in hand, waking up to nature, releasing all fears, sharing hope and compassion through the laughter and tears.
Good morning. Welcome to our Sunday morning connection and devotional service. I'm so grateful that you're here today. Thank you for being, as always, a part of this community, ever growing and glowing and going with the flow of Spirit. I'm just honored to serve with all of you and grateful to be in your life. What an amazing gratitude night of generosity and giving and thanksgiving. I'm so grateful. I know that sounds cheesy maybe to some of you. Just grateful and elated about our music team, Voice of Love, led by Reverend Iman Holdridge. Grateful for that evening, Friday evening, this last Friday at Lakewood United Methodist Church Sanctuary. Just what a wonderful night. And if you missed it, you don't have to. It's archived on Facebook and on YouTube, and you can find it there. Today is our picnic in the park as well. So if you're tuning into this, fantastic. But we would sure love to see you in person at Seminole Lake Park, 11 a.m. This is our Thanksgiving picnic together in the park. And again, just looking forward to seeing you all. We're continuing on with this series, though. Grateful Anyway, Finding Thanks in Every Season. This, of course, is the season of Thanksgiving, and so we want to circle back around to gratitude as often as we can. But I wanted to really sort of, I don't know if galvanize is the right word, but I think it is, galvanize and codify and concretize, really, the ideas around living in frequency and activated and aligned, or aligned and activated. The emerging story we've been talking about, that unification and union with understanding our oneness, our wholeness, and interbeing. This idea, this grand idea that we actually can help to create a new world rather than trying to save this old world that's antiquated, frankly, and it's devolving rather than evolving. The reason that we're seeing it so starkly, though, right now, I believe, is because humanity is actually upgrading. We are evolving. Those who are awake and who are aligned with higher consciousness are expanding. And as you expand, you start to see the contractions of the world and the contract that we've made with limited thinking. And so as you expand, you're going to see that contrast that is occurring in the world right now. But I wanted to stay in this attitude of gratitude because I really believe that gratitude is the frequency of miracles, that gratitude and expectation together are the breeding ground for miracles. And so we're in week 2 of this series, Grateful Anyway, Finding Thanks in Every Season. And this week's message, I would title it The Hard Thanks. But I wanted to focus on this part of the title that really originally for me was a subtitle, and that is The Alchemy of Challenge. So this is the hard things in the not so easy times, but recognizing that challenge is, for the alchemist, the fuel that is necessary to create something new and fresh. So, loved ones, gratitude in easy times is kind of like kindergarten. You're learning, you're experiencing new things, but gratitude in hard times is like graduate school for the soul. It really gives you the ability to stretch and expand even more. I mean, it's easy for me, at least, I'll speak for myself, to say thanks for sunshine and paychecks when things are going my way. But real growth, for me personally, has come through the people and the problems that are grinding the edges into being smooth. You know, it's the spiritual resistance training is what I call it. It's the kind of the gym, the lifting weights. When we were in the series Aligned and Activated, we learned that friction awakens flow. And I want to say today that if friction is what awakens flow, then the hard things is where resistance becomes revelation. Resistance and challenge, the things and the people who push against us and seem to be the most challenging to be thankful for, that resistance becomes revelation. I love to quote Rumi, one of my favorite poets, and Rumi said, "Every guest has been sent as a guide from beyond." Ram Dass would have said, "Everything and everyone is your teacher." That's essentially what Rumi is saying. Every guest. Now, when we hear the word guest, sometimes we exclude people that we would consider to be unwelcomed visitors. But there's something to be said for welcoming even those visitors that really push hard against us and make it difficult, honestly, to say thank you, to be grateful. I'm talking about sickness, dis-ease, disruptions in relationships, disruptions in governmental structures and politics, the people that you feel the most angst toward. They may be the very ones who are actually helping you to break down the traumas, the dramas, the negativity, the limited thinking in your own life, break it down and use it as alchemist fuel. So Rumi said every guest has been sent as a guide from beyond. Jesus said it this way: love your enemies, bless those who curse you. It's a different language, it's a different culture, but it's the same chemistry. Gratitude is alchemy. It turns conflict into gold. Our indigenous elders, they teach that fire doesn't come to destroy us. It really comes to cleanse, to purify, and to forge us. Gratitude is the fire walk that reveals the gold beneath the ash. So as we hear Rumi talking about welcoming the guest and Jesus saying to love even your enemies, pray for those who curse you and harm you, bless those who curse you, in fact, he says. And we hear the indigenous teachings and elders helping us to understand that fire is not here to destroy, but to forge. Let's look at the scientific layer of this, because you all know I love science and spirituality. Neuroplasticity shows reframing your struggle through gratitude rewires your brain from fear to creativity. This is the science of neuroplasticity, that when you frame your struggle through gratitude, you rewire your brain from fear to creativity. There's trauma research out there that finds that gratitude disrupts the why me mentality. It disrupts the loop that fosters our post-traumatic growth, and it helps us to reduce its veracity and its growth in our life. Or, as I like to call it, thank you anyway. That's what I like to call it instead. Thank you anyway. Gratitude, according to science, literally calms the amygdala, which is your inner alarm system, and it strengthens the wise prefrontal cortex. In other words, that difficult coworker that you know is sort of your brain's CrossFit instructor. And listen, I know that there are some people who are graduate level assignments for gratitude. that relative, and you know what I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about, that relative who says, I'm not trying to be racist, but, or that friend who never returns your Tupperware gratitude, your Tupperware to you that you so gracefully gave to them or allowed them to use. Gratitude doesn't say, I loved what happened. It says, I love who I became through what happened. And sandpaper people polish our shine. They are preparation, not punishment. You know, there's a story, and a friend of mine recently told me they were reading this book, but there's the story of the lotus. And in the story of the lotus, it tells us that the lotus blooms only in mud. The book title actually is No Mud and No Lotus by Thich Nhat Hanh. Gratitude for me is looking at your mud and whispering, thank you. This is where the flower of my life is being born. Now, I agree that enlightenment through suffering is way overrated, but it seems to be the path that most of us choose. And if that's the path that most of us choose, we may as well make good use of it. I'm going to ask you to consider a practice, even right here, right now, but certainly throughout this week. Think of a challenging person that is testing your patience. They have scrubbed against you like sandpaper, and whisper, thank you. Not because it feels good, but because you're willing to see what even that can teach you. And so you breathe in, thank, and you breathe out, you. Thank you. Yes, even you. And allow yourself to be in the challenge and experience the stretching and the expansion. It is an opportunity, not opposition. It is an adventure, not adversity. It is a grace of sorts. And being able to see it as such and be in gratitude for that, yes, even that, gives us the ability to alchemize it, to shift it, to mutate it, to transmute it from just a negative situation to fuel for our journey. I refuse to look back over my life and see the spaces and the places, the people who came along in my life, in my journey, who disliked me, maybe in my estimation mistreated me, misunderstood me, accused me of things that I hadn't done, blah, 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 blah. Whatever it is, even the abuses of my adolescence have in recent months taught me something that was laying there dormant that I didn't activate because I wasn't willing to look at it. But once I was willing to look at it, acknowledge it, see it, recognize the patterns in my life that it had influenced, and I was able to integrate them as well. In that integration of even abuse, trauma, pain, disgusting feelings around it, I was able to take in all of me and bring all of me into full integration. And as I did that, it was an activation of all of the wisdom and the beauty that had been taught to me. I know I've said this to you before, but let me reiterate it. Anything in our life that we label as bad, terrible, disgusting, not good, we put in a file cabinet in our brain and essentially say, lock that away, and only use it as a buffer for similar situations so that I can save myself or protect myself from being hurt again. And if we label it as that, bad, then we shut it off and we don't allow the wisdom, the understanding, the grace, the gratitude, the expansion that is possible from it. And I don't want to do that. There's things, and I'm not saying that you have to do this. There's no have to here. You don't even have to agree with what I'm saying right now. But let me encourage you, as I have done, to Get into the shadow of your being and integrate that as well. Bring that into the light of love and truth, and bring that into the vibrational frequency of gratitude, of thanksgiving, of appreciation, because whatever you appreciate, you increase in value, and whatever you depreciate will decrease in value. So I'm going to ask you to do something that's been very therapeutic for me. I'll ask you to consider it as well. Some of the writing that I've been doing since the day after Easter of 2024, some of the writing that I've been doing has included letters of gratitude to challenging individuals. So I'm going to ask you to write a gratitude letter to a challenge. Maybe it was a circumstance or a challenging person. You never have to send it, but write it. Write that gratitude letter to a challenge or a challenging person. If it's a person, name them. If it's a situation, describe it. But write a letter of gratitude, of thanksgiving, yes, even to that. And another thing, when difficulty rises, ask, instead of why me, ask what strength, what power, what beauty is this building in me? I refuse to let anything take my joy, take my peace, take my love, take my compassion, take my generosity. I refuse to let any external activities or actors destroy my opportunity to have strength and have power. And so instead of asking, why me, ask, what strength is this building in me? And remember, gratitude doesn't approve of everything. It just refuses to waste anything. Can I get a witness from somebody? Type in the comments, if you will, I refuse to waste anything. I'm not going to waste a good pain, a good time of challenge. I'm not going to waste it. I mean, if all it ever is like a marker of how victimized I've been, then it's a waste. I want everything that has occurred in my life, and especially the challenges, the painful times, the suffering, the diagnosis I wasn't prepared for, I thought I might be, all of those things, I want those things to become useful for my journey. And I'm the one who gets to decide that. Now, I have to break out of the limited thinking. I get to break out of the limited thinking, and I get to break out of the mentality that my brain sometimes will try to get me into, that, oh, woe is me, I'm a victim. I am not a victim, I am a victor. I am not fearful, I am faithful. I am not limited, I am limitless and boundless, loving awareness, divine consciousness that is always being cultivated and curated and prepared for a higher level of showing up in this world. That's my choice, and that's the choice I make. So the hard things is what takes gratitude from Hallmark, I love you, Carrie, from Hallmark to holy fire. From just a sweet, nice, scripted thing to a holy fire. And as Muji would say, cast yourself into the fire of self-realization. The only part that's going to be burned off is that which is not you. So it is the hard things, the challenging things, that takes gratitude from a Hallmark to a holy fire. You may not be grateful for fire, but you can be grateful through the fire. There's a song that the Crab family sang. They popularized it years ago. And I don't normally reference a lot of Southern gospel music, but I like the premise of the song. He never promised that the cross would not get heavy and the hill would not be hard to climb. Speaking of God, of course. He said, though, he would be with me through the fire and in the fire. And recognizing that the fires of the challenges have come not to destroy me, but to reveal me. That's not easy, but I believe it's possible. And when we do that, again, we start to gather to ourselves all of the nuanced wisdom and knowledge and higher consciousness that makes available to us. And I encourage you to live in that power and allow yourself to become someone who says, I am grateful anyway. I am grateful anyway. I am finding thanks in every season, and the hard thanks is the alchemy of challenge, and I'm utilizing that challenge. Take just a moment, if you would, and think of 2 or 3 things that you're grateful for. And just allow yourself to sit in that gratitude for a moment. I am grateful. I am grateful. In the midst of all of these challenges, in the midst of the craziness of the world, I choose a higher way of being. Gratitude, thanksgiving. And as I do that, my heart opens and the frequency of my life increases. The vibrational frequency of my life gets turned up just a little higher into higher consciousness. And this disassembles the limited thinking and brings me into the limitless possibility and potential that is available to me. And so I rest back into gratitude and into thanksgiving. And I rest even further in the gratitude and thanksgiving, so far into it that I realize that the challenges were not really problems to start with. I look and I realize now that all of those circumstances that were in my life were for me, not against me. Life is not happening to me. Life is happening through me. And I press that gratitude attitude out into the world, and as a result, make an impression as I express the truth of my divine nature. So love is who I am. Gratitude is my attitude. Abundance is my nature. And well-being is my birthright. I choose to be grateful anyway. This is the alchemy that is mine. I am an alchemist through the challenging and hard things. And so it is. Once again, thank you for being here today. Thank you for being a part of this beautiful, growing, thriving community. We are on our way to a higher place. What's the song? Going up to the high places, going up to the high places, going up to the high places. Now this line right here is one we could drop. Going to tear the devil's kingdom down. I like to say it this way. We're going to bring the walls of lower vibrational frequency that have incarcerated us down. That's not really singable. But that's all the devil is something that's adverse to your growth, keeps you from expanding in your consciousness. But I'm going up to the high places. I'm choosing to go just a little higher. So thank you for being a part of that. This is a beautiful season to be in. Again, once again, thank you to Iman Holdridge, the Voice of Love, which includes the band as well, for a wonderful night, Friday night, with our gratitude, a night of generosity and giving and gratitude and thanksgiving. So thank you all for being a part of that. Thank you for being there. I'm excited. I believe that between now and the end of this year, we are going to be clear about where our more permanent home is going to be. That is already in process. We have claimed it. We have set forth all that we need to do in order to make that happen. And we believe that God is providing, that the source is providing the steps forward for us to have a space for us to just put down roots and grow and grow and grow. And I'm just grateful for that. I know this is pretty far out, but I want you to put it on your calendar. All Holy Night. That's a night that we really celebrate all of the beautiful sacred holidays during the season that's coming up. There's many. And we celebrate all of those together. That's on All Holy Night. That is December the 17th. That will be at the Benninger Theater at Eckerd College. And I want to encourage you to be a part of that event. Again, we're celebrating Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and Christmas and Festivus and winter solstice, and we're bringing in all of the festivities, and it's a beautiful night. You don't want to miss that, so go ahead and put it on your calendar and invite friends and family. All right, loved ones, I'm going to get up out of here now. I hope to see you at the picnic in just a little bit. It's not going to be long, just a few hours from now, so I hope to see you there. Make it a great week, because you can. Peace.